Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our mid-eclipse season touch base. Thank you, Lynn Schaeffer, for joining us today. Eclipses are so much about emotions just because they involve the moon. So it's great to have you here to just kind of help us walk through some ways to get through it. It's been so heavy through this eclipse season, and I think we all could use a little bit of reassurance as well as some ways to help get through.
My pleasure to be here. I'm happy to share this with everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And again, a great quote that you brought to us to start this all with as well. If we look at that quote that we began this with from J.R.R. Tolkien and from the Fellowship of the Ring, it's just absolutely beautiful and speaks so much to, I'm sure, a lot of our feelings.
And goes so well with Thomas, who's our local Gandalf.
I told
Yeah.
Kristin I'm growing my hair, even though I cut my hair tonight, but I'm growing it out and letting it go snow white, and I'm growing the long beard, and I'm going to get the staff, and that's it. That's what it's going to be.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Start robe shopping.
I'm having this big, mid 60s identity crisis, and it's like, it's what I figured. It's like going Gandalf.
Yeah, I support it.
I think you've been that for a few years at least.
Hmm.
Oh boy. Let's check in with a few folks here real quick. Guys, this is going to be your all's meeting. Seriously, Kristin is going to be our moderator tonight, and we have some charts already. Go Gandalf. Stephanie slid in here under the rope. Good for you. Glad to have you. We do have some charts already, probably enough, but like I said, I mean, this is just free flow, and we're going to go with wherever you guys want to go. So use that chat aggressively tonight. And the one thing that you could help us get started with, we literally prepared nothing. Lynn has some things that she's going to share, and probably around by the bottom of the hour, we'll get to that. But this is your all's meeting. So what are your hot spots, trigger points, pain points, happy points? What would you like to have us comment on? And then here in a little bit, Kristin, we can get to our first chart too. And that's Dahlia. And she said that she cannot go on camera, so she can chart back, chat back and forth. But that is a very good question, and I will show you. I guess when I go to that slide, you guys, it mutes our microphones. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, that's it real quick. If you can grab a quick screenshot, and we are kind of full in that department, though, I will say. All right. Well, yeah, we can do that. Sure. We'll get into it. Kristin?
Yeah, I think that with this eclipse series in particular, we're starting off with the full moon. And it kind of varies, but it also shows just kind of the heaviness and release that has kind of started this eclipse series in particular. And for anybody who hasn't been studying the eclipses for this series, it is in the Virgo and Pisces, which is so much about health and spirituality and the way that we connect to the physical world, as well as how we connect to the spiritual world, and that dynamic of balancing both. Because here we are in eclipses where it is that balance. It's the moon on the one side and the sun on the other, and how we navigate that dynamic. And so I think that with this particular eclipse, it's hitting everyone a little bit differently, but as a society, we've been seeing some of the heaviness that is coming up, and um it's hard to to navigate, and we want to be able to support everybody, to give everybody space. And if somebody is dealing with something in their personal life, of course, that's another thing that we'll talk about too as we get into charts. And if you want to share yours in the chat or again in the email, we would love to kind of help be there to support and look at your astrology chart to help you kind of walk you through.
Why don't we take a look at one here? How about that? Oh, sing and dance. I've got to do something over here.
Let's see, anything in the chat? Oh, hello from Canada. Oh, first 9/11 that nobody's talking about 9/11. How emotional this time. Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, I did see quite a bit, but there is so much going on right now that it was way less than normal for sure. Um, I actually, my friends and I called the school today to get the flags at half mast, but the fact that it wasn't done from the get go, we were a little disappointed about.
Okay, let me do this. Let's see if we
And
can.
this is really why learning to process your emotions is so important these days, because it seems like things are coming at us faster and stronger, and our own reactions are more intense. So, yeah. So
Mhm.
hopefully,
And you guys hang with us here. We're going to, like I said, we'll look at a couple of charts and just talk through some things. Lynn, about at the bottom of the hour, which now is only about 20 minutes, we're going to, she's going to have a demonstration on how to process through this by identifying and then reprogramming some things. And she has some amazing techniques that she does. So that's coming. And she's going to be,
that targets the subconscious mind where it's all recorded and all creating. So it's very powerful.
it is. She has a way. She's put all of this together and just assimilated it, and she's available. I mean, she does coachings in this, but yeah, it's really amazing. All right, so let's see here. She is in a fifth house perfection year and pregnant, trying to balance faith and preparation. All right, well, let's put that
Mhm.
up because I've got her chart right here. That's what we're talking about. So,
Yes. Fifth house perfection. So right in this eclipse season is really, really being activated there. And we have a T square to your natal Mercury as well. So it's a lot about the preparation of finances too. And with Uranus in that dynamic too, that also is kind of an education and looking at things that might pop up out of nowhere, but also that dynamic of Sagittarius and the spirituality of, Sagittarius is the philosopher, and how being a parent might change some of those philosophies. Now, I don't know if this is your first child. I would love to know that in the chat. But I think even if it is not your first, just adding another child to the family dynamic can just change things.
yeah. And you know me, I've got to look at where the pyramid falls. Okay, let's see here. She had
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, amazing. So you've got a little Virgo too. I also have a little Virgo at home. Um, I understand not wanting to get too excited after loss, but at the same time too, this is a beautiful blessing that I want you to embrace and be happy for. And I think that letting go of some of that hurt, um, and celebrating the rainbow baby that you have, that you're nurturing, will will help navigate. And I think that's part of this eclipse season too, is just kind of helping to let some of that go. Now Thomas is currently pushing putting marks on the Great Pyramid, and so that dynamic is really pushing for the 11th house. And so that is really looking at your dreams and your goals, who you are in community with. And it could be a church community, it could be a community of friends, and how you really look at the future based off of who are the people that you spend the most time with.
That line is where the solar eclipse will fall too, right at the end of Virgo there.
Mm-hmm. Or on the other side. The 29-degree eclipse to come is happening in your fifth. And so there is so much creation energy around that fifth house to come, and on eclipse timing. So it is escalating. And I think that with children, creative processes, and how you relate to things that you enjoy is a focus right now. It is going to be across from transiting Saturn. And so this is a building of stability around those things as well, and how you can really create a a stable place for you to encourage all of those things in yourself and your children's lives.
She's asking about balancing faith and
Preparation.
she said faith and preparation. Good. Thanks, Lynn. Faith partially is going to come from the ninth house. Her Sagittarius is right on the cusp of the eighth house. The thing I'm just seeing here is like for all of us, we're having to hold things loosely and be open to changes, because that Pluto up there in the ninth can help transform some of those areas of faith, struggle with faith. How so? In what ways? Like, don't believe, don't trust, want to take things into your own hands, hard to let go. How does that show up? All of the above, I think, for all of us. But some of this is when there's an area like with Pluto up there in that area of the chart, need proof. I create the plan to see it happen. Lynn, do you want to comment on this?
Well, I was just going to say that's a protection mechanism. She's trying to control things so that she feels safe. So she's learned somehow in her childhood that that's what's required. She needs to have the proof and the eagle eye out in order to feel safe.
Mm.
That's what I would surmise. Does that ring a bell, Delia?
So things are positioned here.
Yeah. See, there it is.
Parents are gone or out of your life. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's learned that as a child, that that's what it's going to take to be safe. And that's just a belief that you have, Dahlia. You can unlearn that and create something differently.
When you see Lynn's technique, maybe you can work with it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this is, what we're seeing is when you think about where these positions are, Uranus is going to throw some surprises. That's fine. We're seeing it. It's happening, right? And this is for all of us. Pluto is in an area of her chart affecting spirituality. So look, we can either, this is one of the things that just became so obvious in my own life through as I documented my transformation and then blogged about it on the podcast on Subconscious Mind Mastery, that the looser we hold things, the less, if we're gripping something, then the universe is going to come along through Uranus down there in that first house and throw you some curveballs to pry your little fingers off of whatever it is that you're holding on to, and you're going to grip it, and the universe is going to have to pry harder. It's just, if we just do that, then the universe is like, thank you. Now I can spend my energies working on the hard cases. It's like, go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, and it's the same as if you're resisting something, then you're actually attached to it, because, if I'm resisting my hand, let's try to see where you can see it here. If I'm resisting my hand and it's not a strong resistance, I'm not attached to it as much. But when I really resist something, I'm attached to it. If I was resisting this bookcase. So it's the same thing with resistance. You got to relax, own it.
Let's see what she says here. Before the Pluto square, she had OCPD and bad anxiety. But I was well respected and always prepared for things.
Well, again, I would guess that the anxiety comes up by suppressed emotions. So most of us weren't taught how to process our emotions or negative experiences. So we learn to suppress them or put them in a closet. And when we do that and don't acknowledge them or express them or even notice in our bodies where we feel them, and we continuously do that, that builds up and becomes limiting beliefs and patterns and unhealthy coping mechanisms. And that's when we see things like anger, depression, panic attacks, anxiety, and even disease show up as adults. So that's one of my passions, is teaching you how to get underneath that and really process those buried things, those unwanted, uncomfortable things. And again, Dahlia, that's a label, okay? That's just a label. And you can throw that label away if you want to. And I don't want to sound cavalier about that, but you have learned that and you can unlearn it. It's just records in your subconscious mind.
Do you, Lynn, without her being able to be on camera, would you like to try to give her a little something here that she might work with?
I think if she hangs on till the end of the...
till we do the big one?
Right, because that's what we're going to do. So I'd rather just do that for everybody instead of just focusing on her, and she'll get some benefit from that as well.
Everybody will, yeah.
That's good, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
To feel beautiful inside.
Good. All right. Well, thank you for that. Wow, that was a good way to start. Goodness. All right, we have another one here. I have to call it up and save it.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
You're talking to Dahlia, right?
Yes.
Roxana, what do you have for us? I'm calling up her chart here. Take just a sec. She says, "Hi, y'all." Hi back.
Yay! That's
Let's
my
see what
lingo.
we got. You know me, go right to where's the pyramid? Where's the pyramid? Let's find it here. Because that is where things are happening. And oh, wow, look at that, right on the cusp by 1 tick. She is a 2.5 degree Aquarius rising. So on the equal house system, that puts that degree at all the cusps around her house. All right, let's see what she's got here. More about timing in terms of a relationship. She's currently single and had a string of bad ones. Boy, hear that a lot, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, having Pluto on your ascendant, you're going through your own transformation right now. And I think that when it comes to calling in the perfect person, it's really focusing on you at the moment and being able to kind of create the person that you want to be to call in the perfect person for you. Right now, we have the same dynamic of houses with the eclipse. Since I'm a Leo rising and you're a Aquarius rising, we're having eclipses in the 2nd and 8th. And so this is so much about your values and the value of worth that you put on yourself and the value of worth that you put on others. And that dynamic of spirituality within that too, because your Jupiter is also being activated within this, and really being able to make sure that the people that you are with and exchanging day-to-day interactions are filling your cup instead of draining it.
You know, really, to answer that, we've got to go to other charts that we don't have time for tonight. We can do it with the transits, but that's not everything. It's a partial picture. So that's
Chart reading.
the one challenge with that. We'd want to look at solar arcs, and we even could do a consultation chart or ask Jorge and all that. We just don't have time for that tonight. But Kristin's available for readings, and her link for booking her is right on the new website, hightimelineliving.com. And if you go to the readings tab up at the top, she's there. Lynn is there as well. It's just both of them are direct links to their websites. You can communicate with them. Yeah, super spiritual directly, and just, then you can drill down, because obviously we're skipping stones and hitting high spots here. The one thing I see, I mean, where she's saying this, you always look at the cusp of the 7th house as to what kind of relationship is going on here. And I mean, I know that, I hear a lot, dating is tough right now out there. And I could only imagine. I mean, it's a reflection of the culture as well as us individually. But, and Kristin, speak to this too, because you are a Leo rising, and she has Leo on the cusp of her 7th. I'm just seeing here that one thing that I don't know what the dynamic is like these days, but I don't know how you exercise your Leo. If you exercise your Leo as needing to be in charge or needing to be upfront or wanting to be large and in charge, then that obviously is going to affect the relationship. You have some great, I mean, for somebody to have the part of fortune 7 degrees away from Venus in the 7th house. Oh, that's transiting. Yeah, that's transiting. I mean, now's a good time. Go fast. You got 2 more weeks. Not even that.
Yeah, that Venus is squaring the sun at the moment, and but that is action wanting to be taken. And so when you look at the 7th house cusp being Leo, that sun in Scorpio in the 10th is the spot that I look to. Having it conjunct a retrograde Mercury, communication, and being able to connect with someone on a very deep level and being able to see the way that people are thinking, being able to see the cogs work rather than just knowing what their thoughts are, but how did they get there? And making sure that you have that connection with someone. It's the friends first, just because I think that you really need to have that deep spiritual connection with someone to be able to make it through that long haul of commitment. And you have a chart that does scream that you want the commitment with that Aquarius rising, where it's Saturn is your chart ruler, and Saturn in Sagittarius. So again, another tick to that spirituality and being able to connect on that level.
Good job. Thank you. David has a good question. Anybody want to try to answer David's question?
Nowadays, I think it's swiping right or left, but I don't know. It's been a while since I've dated too.
Yeah.
I'm in that boat as well. I have no answer.
You're talking to a clueless trio here.
Date yourself first.
We can't help you. Sorry. That's great. David, we'll get to your question after Lynn's little presentation here. So one thing that I know, after yesterday afternoon, a lot more people signed up for this, just like without any, you had to hear it on the podcast basically. But boy, I mean, all of a sudden, boom, 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 the emails started hitting. And our Facebook group this morning, people were hurting. The shock was still very fresh this morning, I think, when we woke up. A lot of triggered emotions, a lot of processing, a lot of shock. So that's why we wanted to, it just was amazing how it synchronistically worked out. I asked Kristin, hey, let's do a webinar. And this was the date. And that was timely. So when Lynn jumped in, Lynn called the other day. It was like, hey, by the way, we're doing a webinar. So she was kind and gracious to jump on here with us as well. And she surfaced through the Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast. How many years ago, Lynn? 5 something? We met at a get together that I did at a park in Orlando, and I think it was during COVID.
Yeah.
That's when we met the first time, and we just have continued to develop our bond, and then she has launched this coaching that she's doing now, and it was in the works back then, but she's put all these pieces together and continues to evolve this. And we wanted to give her some space to be able to show you some ways that with all of this going on, to identify some things and process through them. Now, I'm going to give you a warning that what Lynn is going to show you in, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes here is a process that her sessions are like 2 hours long, and they're intense. I mean, it's intensive work on your soul, on reprogramming your subconscious. To reprogram it, you have to go get it, find it, what's in there. And she's masterful at that. She'll dig out stuff that you didn't even know was in there. So
And
we
make
wanted
you
to
throw it fast.
we wanted to give her some time here and just let her kind of walk you through and give you a little sample of what she does, and a practical sample as well, because we can all take this, and with these things going on in our world, we can use it to help process through. So, Lynn, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully this is beneficial for everybody. So I call my sessions BEST sessions, BEST, and that's because I utilize, and you might not have even heard of this, or maybe some of you have, but bilateral eye stimulation. So that's the BES. And then I have a little bit of tapping that I do as well, but that's kind of like a minute part. But using these techniques, these tools and processes in such a way that I do in sessions, it really helps you clean up the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, you might know this, but it acts like the instruction manual for our lives. So basically, everything from pre-birth on is recorded in there, and it's used as your operation manual for life. And since most of us didn't have perfect childhoods, we have things in it that don't benefit us, but they're still running in the background. And so the process I use updates the subconscious mind so you have beneficial instructions of your choice. You choose them in sessions. So why does this work? They're not really sure why the eye movements are so fast and powerful, but they really think that they kind of mimic REM sleep, which is what our brain naturally does when we're sleeping. It's processing our lives. But when we've had things that threaten our safety, or that we fear or hurt, it's something that has to be kept, quote, alive, if it's threatening to us somehow, that kind of thing never really gets processed. And so it can be front and center all the time in your life. Could be anything minor from, I have, ugly hair, which actually used to be one of mine. I got teased a lot as a child about my hair. So it could be anything minor from that to something more serious. And these unprocessed, it's not EMDR. It does use eye stimulation, David, but it's not EMDR. I actually think it's faster and more powerful than that, but it is similar. You can get some good results with EMDR. I think that just is, in my experience, from what people have told me, it takes longer. Okay, so today's world, I think we're all evolving consciously. We're shifting to a higher consciousness, and in order for us to do that, things have to come up that we've stored, that we haven't wanted to face, that we feel or try to hide in the closet, that we try not to feel, in order to be cleared so that our vibration does rise. We can't rise in the world unless we've risen inside individually. So that's why I think it's so important. So what we're going to do tonight is very, very basic. Like Thomas said, my sessions are like 2 hours. And this really is kind of an experiment too. I've never done this with a group. It's usually, again, one-on-one. And I'm working with your answers, with things that you tell me, with your history. I'm working with all of that as we go along through this process. So I can't do that with a group. You're going to have to just kind of notice what you feel inside, and hopefully you'll feel the shifts that we're doing on this basic level. So let's see. Well, and I wanted to say too, part of what we do in sessions is we update your actual memories. And that's because when we update how you hold a memory, it's like a house of cards can tumble down. If you've made peace with something that's been traumatic, or I mean, again, anything from minor to very serious, like losing loved ones or rape or, violence, those kinds of things. But when you process those memories and clean those up and your brain holds it differently, it's like triggers and other things going on in your life that were attached to that we usually have no idea is happening because our subconscious mind is working in the background. Then you see such rapid shifts. That's why I love it so much. It's just so fast and powerful, and you're not stuck in emotions and having to go to the bottom and tell me all the details and relive it like that. It's very fast. It's like a 5 to 10 minute process when we go through a memory like that. So, and by the way, I think you might have said this, Thomas, but I'm not a therapist. This is not medical advice. So this is just some basic emotional processing that you're hopefully going to learn. So I'm going to first give you some eye movement basics. If possible, I know Thomas has made me full screen, but if I'm not full screen on your computer, if you can do that, you'll get more benefit because we want your eyes to go back and forth the whole width from one side to the other. And you're going to keep your head straight, and it's not like a tennis match where you're turning your head and watching. Only your eyes are going to be moving. So your head's going to be, holding still, and your eyes will just be following, just like that. Let's see. Oh, and I don't want you darting from side to side. So I don't want you like zipping from one side to the other. It's like a smooth movement where you keep your eyes as much as you can on my hand. Okay, so we're gonna do a round. I'm gonna instruct you to follow my hand, and you'll know that it's over. I'll put my hand over my head and I'll say peace. And when I do that, what I want you to do is close your eyes for a brief amount of time. Leave them closed. I'll tell you when to reopen them. So the eye movements, I'll do like this, peace, and you close your eyes. I also don't want you like putting your head down. Just stay up, stay centered, stay straight, close your eyes. And part of that reason is that our physiology, our body and our emotions follow our physiology. And so people that are sad or depressed or whatever, hiding, tend to go within. So I want you up, straight, yeah. Okay, so the next thing is I want you to pick something that's been bothering you lately. Could be a worry that you have. It could be an uncomfortable event that happened. Could be some strong emotions you're feeling the last few days, especially. A sensation that you've had in your body, like you notice your chest has been tight. Whatever that is, I want you to just pick something like that that's been bothering you. Don't make it too big. Again, we're not doing a full session. I'm not with you personally. So just something relatively that's been bothering you, sadness that won't go away or something like that. Something somebody said to you, or how you get angry in the car when drivers cut in front of you, something like that. So stir up those emotions. I want you to think about it. You can actually, right now, if you want, just close your eyes and think about that thing. And think about how you know that it bothers you. The things that you hear in your mind, the things you say about it, maybe the things that you're thinking other people are saying about you. Whatever it is, just think about that and notice how it bothers you and feel it as strong as you can right now. Okay, so hopefully everybody has that. I don't know if you can tell me, everybody, you got it? Thomas, can you let me know if anybody's saying yes, we're ready?
I think they're
So,
just
so
absorbing it right now. I will.
okay. So when you have that now and you're making it strong, I want you to give it a rating of intensity. So 0 means not too much. It's not very strong. 10 means this is really bothering you a lot. And again, I'm hoping that you can get it at least up to a 7, 8, 9, 10 and make it as strong as you can. And part of the reason that we do that is the stronger that you can feel it, the faster it gets wiped out. So like if you're only going to go halfway, it's probably going to keep repeating to you if you can't get very upset about it right now and make it really bother you and feel it. So make it strong, notice the rating, the intensity, make a little note of how strong it is. And now I want you to scan your body and notice where you feel that most in your body. And just make a note of that too. Sometimes in sessions, people say, I feel like I've been kicked in my gut. I'm really tight in my chest. My head hurts. Whatever it is, just notice where you feel that in your body. Okay. So now you can open your eyes and you're going to follow my hand with your eyes and just follow my hand. Keep your eyes on my hand. And peace. And close your eyes. And just notice what you notice. And with your eyes closed, don't think of a green elephant or pink monkeys or blue giraffes. Don't think of those. Okay, and you can open your eyes. Good job, everybody. And we're going to do it again. So I want you just to notice again, think about that thing and notice if it's maybe a little different now. Maybe it's gotten a little bit smaller, maybe it's fading somewhat, maybe it's moved location in your body if it was a sensation that you knew you felt that spot. Just notice and feel what's left of that feeling. Okay, and your eyes are open and we're going to do it again. So just follow my hand. It's safe to let this go. I'm safe now. Whatever it is, wherever it came from, whatever it means, I'm safe to make peace within and let that go. Good job, and peace, and close your eyes. And just notice what you notice while your eyes are still closed. And while they're closed now, I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to think of something that you love. Maybe a puppy, maybe it's being out in nature, maybe it's a favorite flower, sitting in the woods, your car, whatever it is. Just think of that thing that you love and feel that good feeling. And I want you to take that good feeling and spread it from wherever it is that you feel it. Spread it up to the top of your head and spread it all the way back down through your body, down to your toes. Just feel that good feeling. And good job. Now you can open your eyes again and check it again. Just notice what you notice. Notice what you're feeling. And if you still have that emotion, I want you to feel where you feel it in your body. Where is that sensation in your body? And I want you to give it a color. You got it? All right, so now we're going to erase that color so that it's invisible. You're just going to follow my hand now. It's an eraser. And let's just erase that color. Good job. And if that color is invisible now, I want you to put a new color on top of that. Just put a new color that you love on top of it. And when you have that new color, I want you to think of that thing that you love. And I want you to put that image on top of that new color. Just keep following my hand as you do that. Good job. So you're going to have a new color and that image of that thing that you love. And in your head, I want you to say, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Don't laugh at my singing. Okay, over your head and say peace. Close your eyes. Okay. And check it again. You can open your eyes. Notice how you're feeling. Notice what the rating is now. And it should be pretty low or gone, that original thing. So what's everybody saying, Thomas? Is anybody saying it's gone, it's better, what's the feedback on this?
Just people are just doing it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
They're focusing on the process, not so much the
Okay.
keyboard right now.
So
Well, I
I'm
definitely
gonna.
feel lighter. I
Oh,
feel
good.
lighter.
All right. So I'm going to say that we're not done yet, Thomas, though. So I still make me full screen. Sorry, Kristin. All right. So we're going to do one more round of eye movements. And for this round, what I want you to see in your mind is a mighty ship in a storm. Okay? A mighty, mighty ship. This ship is steady and strong and calm. And I'm going to walk you through some things as you see that mighty ship in the storm. Okay, follow my hand. Ready? And just see that mighty ship. Steady, strong, calm. And it survives any storm. Not because it's anchored in place, but because it isn't. It can ride the waves. It can adjust to what's around it. And in that steady, strong inner calm is immense self-control. And with that self-control comes great power, because you're not at the mercy of the elements. So see that steady ship and feel its power as it sails and rides and motors through those waves. Feel its power. And now you use your power to steer that boat, to steer that mighty ship towards the light. Just ride towards it. Maybe even ride into it, depending on what you're ready for. Good job. And peace. And close your eyes. And just feel that mighty ship energy all throughout your body. And with your eyes closed, I want you to call in light through the top of your head and say thank you. Thank the moon. Thank the earth. Thank the cosmos, your brain, your soul, for the beautiful energy and guidance that you are and that you're receiving. And I want you to remember that you are so much more powerful, more wonderful, more valuable and beautiful than you realize. And no matter what, you're lovable. And if you would say after me, either out loud or in your head, I am the divine presence which is creating perfection throughout my whole life and all of those I meet. And so it is. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. I think that with everything going on, and with a eclipse season in particular, and the releasing that is part of eclipse season, the releasing that you just helped everybody go through is beautiful.
Thank you. And I do want to tell people you can use this for yourself at night. And the way I would do that is before you go to bed, you can scan your day. And if there's anything upsetting, close your eyes and just do some of those eye movements. And you may have to do a few rounds, but do those until you feel a shift. Or you can scan your body, and if you scan your body and find anything as you move through it, then you stop at that spot and you do eye movements. And this actually helps my clients a lot too, if they wake up in the middle of the night, I'll just tell them, start doing some eye movements. You don't need to follow your hand when you're just doing it for the sensations and the emotions. You can close your eyes and just do it for 2 or 3 minutes per round, and then move on if you need to. Yeah. So
Wonderful. That's such a great tool. And I think that, being able to teach it to people, and hopefully it helps them cope with whatever thing that they are needing to kind of push through.
yeah, I learned this because I needed it for me.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's changed me a lot. It's changed a lot of what I held inside, and how I moved through life and relationships. And
I'll
yeah,
definitely be using it again. So thank you so much.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful feedback in the chat too.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I'm not watching that. That tends to distract me too much.
A lot of thank yous.
Oh, good. You're welcome, everybody. I'm so glad. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you benefit. You feel better.
Yeah, that was a great demonstration. Really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Thanks.
job. And that's the first time she's done this. I mean, it was just open space for us and her. We did have somebody post this. Let me make it a little bigger. And just in recognizing that she is licensed and that she said that, well, let me go back because here's the other context. Let's see.
Exactly, Alejandra. That's why I said choose something small. We don't want to choose anything that you can't work, that I typically work on with somebody. And I don't know if you were here for that portion, but I did say don't choose a trauma or a big memory or something. We're not doing that. Just something that's bothering you, an emotion or sensation that you can't seem to process. So, but good point to make again. So thank you.
And she mentioned too that she is licensed and her sister is as well. So, that's something that's on every Subconscious Mind Mastery episode that plays. As soon as it ends, there's a disclaimer that says exactly this, and it's for a reason. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm glad somebody, we're having, Kristin, I know you're aware of this, that there are a lot more people who are exploring astrology plus some kind of licensed clinical therapist degree. Hers is LCSW, but combining it with astrology is something that is going to be a wave of the future for sure. So putting them together is something that we highly encourage, and it's a great path for any of you looking at career changes. If you can put the couple of years in to get that master's level certification, it's a great combination.
Definitely.
All right, we have another chart here that we could talk about. David was one of the first ones to put these in. Sorry, guys, we don't have, I knew we were tight there when we had 4 right off the bat, but we can take a look at this just really quick. And, with what we're doing with the astrology, Kristin and I did that series of 3 months, 12 episodes on Wednesdays. It was a lot. I was having a count in my head there. What did we do? We did a lot of episodes. And what we did on every one of them is we took a look at individual charts and we mapped out these positions right here. Uranus in the sky, Saturn and Neptune in the sky, and Pluto in the sky. And these are all connected. These two are what's called a sextile 60-degree angle, and then this is 120, all just parts of geometry. But if you look at that, it looks like a little stubby pyramid. And in fun astrology terminology, I figured let's call it the Great Pyramid. and because it's going to be with us for 7 years. This does not disband until 2032 in May. And then finally, Uranus will pull off of this thing for good, and the pyramid will be gone. But the other thing that's significant about this is that it has never apparently been identified in history that, we've got to, hold on, he's correcting me, 6:25 p.m.
Oh, yeah, you're 10 minutes off.
Okay, let's fix that. Thank you. It has never been identified in history. So we're living, this is the thing that, as we've experienced stuff from this week, that we're all, y'all, this is not going away. And that's the reason why we need to do these touch bases. And Lynn, it's why we need your work on the court to be helping people get through this, and why we need licensed therapists. So, we have a question here. What was that last sentence, Lynn, that you had them repeat?
Oh, I can send it to you, Thomas, if you want to post it somewhere, or you want me to read it? Say it again?
Yeah, why don't you just say it again?
What was the gratitude? Or what I had them say after me, I am the divine presence, which is creating perfection throughout my whole life and the life of all those that I meet.
And that will be in the replay too. So as soon as this is over, we are an hour, 10 minutes in from when we put the countdown up. So we are about 1 hour into the presentation when we came on. You can look for that and just find the pyramid here or find Lynn and the end of her thing, and you can go back and transcribe or capture notes on anything of that you want. So that's available in 2 places. But anyway, this is something that, one of the reasons, and I mean, what I've been saying is that this stuff that's going on is really, truly no surprise when we factor in what all is above our heads right now. And then the hard reality, or just the sobering reality, is that it's going to be here for a good long while. So, Kristin, why don't you launch in here? I'm seeing this Pluto sitting over this little business right here has got my eye going, but
I'm eyeing the Uranus on the midheaven too. That's a
yeah,
really interesting piece of that whole dynamic, and this is a time where there's might be some shakeups in career or title, how you're known, and with that trine from Pluto in that midheaven dynamic as well. Um, I think that could be a big focus of this pyramid. Now, for this eclipse season in particular, this is a lot about the dynamic between you and others. Since it's first and seventh, it's a lot about relationships and how you show up in them and how people affect you too. Having the full moon be within that realm, and then having the new moon be in the first house, there is a lot of creation energy around yourself and how you want to be seen and known, and there might be some health goals even that come through with this too. You did have that full moon trine and sextile to your natal moon too, so this is a really great time for looking at health goals, and especially long-term health goals, since you have that natal moon in Capricorn too.
This is interesting. We've had a lot of 1980s charts come in here. So those of you who are in your 40s, and so David is 1982. So I'm guessing, February, we don't have to guess. We can know he's 43, right? So that's right on time for this Uranus opposition. When Uranus has moved, because it takes 84 years to go around, it has moved halfway around from where it was when he was born. And a lot of you will have that or have had that. And so it's that time when guys typically, a lot of motorcycles are bought by men in their early 40s.
Yeah, motorcycles and convertibles.
A lot of marriages end in their mid 40s because we've already dismissed that dating is happening right now, so I guess that doesn't happen anymore. But seriously, I mean, it's that time when, the midlife crisis is really the modern terminology for Uranus being across from where it was when you were born. And so this is amplified because it's part of this pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And because he has this incredible 0 degrees, and the screen is so small, I'm looking on a small screen, 48 minutes, I think is what it is. But he has this 0 degree ascendant. So that puts this Aries point right there. at his 8th house. And if you've noticed with the charts that have come up, the 8th house is highlighted, the 9th house is highlighted, the 1st house is highlighted. These are the areas, and this is what Kristin and I saw in doing our little thing as we went around, that here's Pluto coming into the 6th. That's our self-integration, our psychological self-integration. For our therapist is, this is a lot of the realm that you deal with in astrology comes from right there. That's your business. So this is hyper activated for you. And what I would strongly advise is just be in tune with that. This is a natural dynamic of what we go through when we hit that age bracket. And yours has not yet happened. Let's see. Sag, yeah. Right, Kristin? He's 3
No,
more
not
degrees. Yeah. This is going to go back into Taurus, and then it's going to go forward, and we could roll it up. But sometime in the next couple of years, it's going to be at 4. So you're still growing into this. It still is applying. It still is getting stronger. It's like the moon as it's approaching a full moon. It's getting bigger every night. Well, this is going to get bigger once Uranus goes direct, which won't be until next year. But yeah,
Right.
go ahead.
Yeah, and that timing that you're going to have is going to be close to around when Pluto is going to be conjunct your Mercury as well. And as a Virgo rising, that Mercury placement is your chart ruler. This is a very important transit too. And so a lot of transformation is going to come up around this, and maybe new communities with having that Mercury be in Aquarius. That could also be a big focus. And having the 6th house, it's a lot of looking at your day-to-day routines too, and how that affects your mind, your health, all of the way that you integrate, as Thomas said. And that's why that 6th house is so much that self-integration, because it's how you and your body fit into your day-to-day life.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, you guys have been amazing. Lynn, thank you so much. This has been fun. We've been talking about doing this for years.
I know.
We finally got here.
Life is busy.
We broke through. I know. Isn't that the truth? It is for everybody. So, yeah, thanks for your contribution. And basically, I am endless possibility is saying that if we're in tune with our body, it is an incredible machine, and we know that for sure. So, see a therapist and work with her, trying to structure a schedule because I focus daily on exercise and health as well. Well, that's awesome. Good deal. That'll keep you going. Just don't go off some cliff on a motorcycle. That's the only thing. It's right there. If you want it, it's right there. It's like the fruit hanging down, and Eve was tempted, like, don't grab for the fruit.
Wear a helmet.
Stay away from that motorcycle. Oh, well, okay. Serious conversation for just a second in departing. If you've hung around and you're still here, you'll get this. You've seen what's happened this week. A young lady was going home from work. A man was giving a speech. Mentioned twice this week, caution. Talked about it on Wednesday in our video that Kristin and I did. Talked about it on Sunday in the webinar that we did for the eclipse, that we could put that chart up. And one of the areas, or one of the reasons why, is that really strong Uranus. Let me just slide over here and we'll just put that up real quick. And Kristin, you can comment on this too. But it really is a big deal that, so this is just the sky. I think I just threw it up. It should be September 11th, 9 o'clock. Yeah. So, so here's Uranus, and it's in retrograde. So that means, and it just went in retrograde a week ago from tomorrow, and it's moving backward now toward Taurus. and it will get to 27 degrees. So it sticks its toe back in there, and then it will be moving forward. But wherever that line between Taurus and Gemini is in your own natal chart, that's a place where you really need to take caution in anything related to that. You've got to look at Mars. Mars is the head. Uranus is accidents. And I've been seeing this. Now, these things that have taken place this week are certainly not accidents, but the head could be a body area affected. Saturn, which is very strong at 0 Aries in retrograde, bones, the cardiovascular system. All of these areas could be kind of under this realm of, and this is cardiovascular too, so respiratory. Kristin, what thoughts do you have on that?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think as these next couple of months continue and Uranus does make its way back into Taurus, we're going to have first Mars move into Scorpio and square Pluto, but then we'll have that opposition to Uranus as well. And so, in that dynamic, it is going to be a little bit of having to balance as well as figure out actions that needed to be taken around transformation, but playing it safe and making sure that you aren't being too risky in this time is really great advice.
And Lynn, how do you frame that up from your perspective and from your work when we're talking about something that is obviously in the energy of the sky that says, be more careful?
Well, I think when you process emotions and the clearer you get inside with how you're feeling, then the more connected you are with your own intuition, and you'll just kind of be guided when to go where and when not to go where. So I think the more emotions that you clean up and memories that you clean up inside, the clearer you are to receive guidance.
Well, I love that. I love that. The I word, intuition. And a lot of this is clearing our space so that we can hear however we get it, that little voice inside that gives us those directions. That would be an ultimate goal, is to getting to where you can hear that more loudly. And then that's perfect. Yeah. That will
and
guide
I always
you.
like to affirm too, I'm always in the right place at the right time. And, I just put that out there. So
We've been talking about this on the podcast too, that Kristin and I stumbled into something. It was something that hit me in the middle of the night. It was one of those wake up in the 3 a.m. kind of things. And it was like realized that what we're doing every month with this little program that we call Lucky Stars is something that the Reagans used throughout their presidency after his assassination attempt. And it guided what they did. So we're going to be elevating that to a level where it's more of a guide that you can not just, should I go buy a lottery ticket today? It's going to be, here are days that you should lean into, and here are days that you might want to lean away from. And then we're going to show you how you can do the work to apply it to your own chart. And that gets delivered every month, the weekend before the change over to the next month. And if it's, if the next day is the first of the month, then we send it the prior weekend. But we try to get it in your hands so that you have it for about a week before the new month. And if you want that information, it's just $5 a month. Come on. It's like the whole United States government was run by what she is doing over there, Kristin over there. No, here, she's over here.
So
But
thank your lucky stars.
Yeah, the whole government was being run by this. And everything that Quigley, the astrologer Joan Quigley, was using for them is stuff that Kristin is using to put this together. So it's like, it's a no-brainer, guys. It's a no-brainer.
That's awesome, Kristin.
The whole government was being run by this, by lucky stars, by what she's doing every month. So we really want to encourage people to be in that, really, seriously. I mean, and we're going to deliver. I mean, and I've said, you better get in for $5 because Nancy Reagan was paying $3,000 a month for this in 1980s, you know, which is about $6,000 today. So we could be tempted to raise it beyond 5.
Yeah.
So better get in if you want the grandfathered price. Okay, you guys, anything else? You all have been wonderful. Kristin, wrap us up here.
Yeah, this has been so great. Thank you all for joining us. Lynn, thank you so much. That was so wonderful. And I hope that everyone takes away and does the replay too. And I can't wait to hear the feedback from hopefully people using this through the rest of Eclipse season.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for having me, you two. It's been my honor.
We have a question here I just saw.
Being a right headspace, what's that mean?
Well, clearing space, there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, it's really is eliminating anything that causes you angst or blocks or mental fatigue or emotional fatigue or anything. Like, they did this a lot when I was doing the landmark stuff. They don't have physical locations anymore, and I would not recommend that program virtually. But when I was doing it, you could help on the crew. And every time before one of their seminars, they would have the crew come together about 30 minutes before, and they would have a clearing session. And it was where you just let things out that you needed to get out of your space. So that when the event started, you weren't holding on to any baggage. And I'll tell you how powerful it was. There was a lady that came into one of those. I'll never forget this. She came in late. She drove in from East Texas. So she was on the freeway in Dallas. Not a pretty thing in evening rush hour traffic. She comes in. She's obviously out of breath. She's frazzled. And she said, she raised her hand during the clearing and she said, okay, just so I can get this out, I spilled honey on my laptop keyboard today. And I've been dealing with that all afternoon. Do you know that night a thunderstorm came over and hit the building with lightning and it fried the printer, the networking between the computers and the printer? And it was the night that they print a bunch of stuff for the final handouts. And they print it during the event, and they couldn't print anything. They had no way to get the files to the printer. Clearing is very powerful. She dumped instead of cleared. She didn't release. She was still processing, and a whole seminar was affected by that not clearing properly. So it really is a powerful thing to do, that whenever you start something, like we didn't do it before this meeting, but probably something that we should do is before we start these as the team here is to clear. And you can do that all through the day for yourself too. You just release. You put it out. You can speak it out. If there's nobody to listen to, speak it to God. You know, just say, hey, I'm clearing here. Speak it out and release.
I did a sound bath on Monday. Also, another way that I love to clear.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. Lynn, I'll bet you've got some clearing techniques. I'm just guessing.
I don't know. I probably do, but off the top of my head.
Well, your whole work is basically one big clearing. I mean, everything you did tonight is a clearing. Oh, that was something I wanted to ask you too. Can we do our own hand motion?
I wouldn't recommend it. There's a certain way that I do it, certain training that you've had. That's why I say if you want to just do it at night with your eyes closed and not really following your hand. Yeah. So, yeah. Because you're getting so much of the basics right now, you don't really know what you're doing. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this was a
all right.
demo, basically. Let's put it in
Yeah.
context, right? Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. I hope this was helpful. I feel
I hope
better.
so too.
Yeah.
I did the exercise.
Yep, I did too. I feel better.
So,
Yeah, that's a great thing. Being outside in nature and then feet on the grass. As long as there's a lot of chemicals they put on grass.
it's true. Count the dogs before you go out there.
Yeah.
The guy friend of mine called Bill Palahniuk, I've had him on the podcast. He was the guy that had the stroke. You know, he has almost completely resolved his speech now. And he was saying his wife was in tears this afternoon. He called me. He said, how you doing? I said, I'm a little mopey. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not hiding it. And he said, look, since the beginning of time, and I thought of Cain and Abel in the Bible, people have been doing this. We have to look for the good. We have to look for what's positive. And the thing that I would say is that we're all here for a purpose. And that chart shows each of us what our unique purpose is. And Kristin can help pull that out if that's one of the things that you want to know is from your own natal chart. What is your purpose? It's in there. Clearly, the Google map of the soul. So the tools to help you find that are certainly there. But we need to be living on our purpose right now. Be on our game. Clear in space, but be on our game. So, yeah, we'll probably be doing more of these.
Awesome.
Kristin, wrap us up. And there's something that you're going to have to say or I won't be able to sleep tonight.
Thank you all so much. This was so wonderful. I hope that it helps everyone build their intuition and just gives a good coping for the rest of Eclipse season. And until next time, much love. Talk soon.
Now I can sleep.
Peace. Thanks, guys.